The balding wizard is invading your YouTube once again. The old man. I'm doing the Tien tri-beam. Tri-beam! Some Dragon Ball, y'all. Yes. Yes. It's popping, everybody. Hope you guys have been real good. Hold on. Is this picking up my mic? Oh, no. Oh? Is this good? Is that better? Okay, I think that's much better, right? I think my mic wasn't all that there. What's good? What's good? Hey, man. Hope you guys have been solid. Life's been all right. I gotta see. I gotta fix my sleeping schedule. I've been waking up. I've been sleeping late and waking up late. But fortunately, I've been getting a lot of stuff done. Been reading more. Been crafting. Been drawing. I'm trying to make sure I use my time a little bit more efficiently. But the sleep schedule has to be fixed because this shit cannot go on, man. I can't be going to bed at 5 in the morning and then waking up at fucking 11. Or sometimes I will go to sleep at like 11 a.m. Right? If this was a work week, oh, I'm fucked. I can't be doing that. So, anyways, got to get back on track so I can get back to work proper. Anyways, again, I appreciate everybody for always tuning in to the videos. Hopefully you guys are drawing along, crafting along, maybe working out. Hope you guys have been watching some anime, watching some TV, playing some video games, eating good food with the homies, doing what you do. I appreciate y'all, but I do want to do tutorial videos, but I feel like there's so much information online. Like you guys can find those, but I will give general advice to things and just shows examples, maybe some demos that you guys can follow along. I don't want to do like a full on like, hey guys, here's a Discord thing. Show me your progress. Show me this because I won't be able to attend to that with all this other shit that I gotta take care of, and I would feel hella guilty for not addressing people. And I realize when I work at a college and when I'm helping students, I'm always trying to help them, even outside of school. So if they were to like message me with things that they need feedback on, and I do like paint overs or draw overs, like, and that takes a lot of time too. So I realized like if I'm gonna do this thing where I could provide more for people, like I'm not gonna half-ass it. And right now I cannot. I cannot at the moment. Well, maybe in time, but I will give like general advice to things, just to help folks out. And yeah. All right, y'all. I just want to address some comments. Again, appreciate y'all always. We're just checking out and just hanging out. Happy weekend. First up, wait. Oh, okay. First person. Jaquez Concrete. Hope I'm saying that right. The Michael Jackson thing at the end is funny, but also motivational. Heh, your videos always make me more excited about your art. Thanks for doing what you do. Hey, my dude, I appreciate you. If you guys don't know, the last video I said Michael Jackson had mentioned you got same hours in a day as Michael Jackson, and your ass chose to be nobody, right? And I thought that shit hit. So let that be motivation. A person said, oh, Brandy, 665. Thanks again, Moish. Genuinely, you're extremely motivational and wise. I wish to be as talented as you and your peers. Hey, dude, Brandy, I do what I can for my people. I'm not, like, I don't think I'm wise. I just have things that I think will help people because I went through a lot of pitfalls. And in terms of you getting better at your art, man, hey, man, just keep at it, dude. Just keep doing what you're doing. And I'm sure you're solid, dude. I'm sure you're doing all right. I think people tend to be a bit more harsh on themselves, but then you realize, you take a step back and you look at your artwork and you're like, holy shit, I'm kind of goated, right? Keep that, let that be somewhat of a motivation too, right? But again, Randy, I appreciate you. Atsunai, motivation is literally the hardest part. This is true, but motivation is more of a mental thing. And if you need one help with motivation, is to literally just start and just keep going once you start, because you'll get into kind of like a flow state. You can't always rely to be motivated to start, because then you'll never start anything. So you do kind of have to like force yourself and then just find that flow state to go. Um, and Shintasai. Shintasai, man, I gotta say that right. Um, hey, I appreciate you, man. Thanks for you said thanks so much for taking time to answer and for giving me advice. I'll keep in mind to be aware of what I truly want to be, confident on what I chose to do, or what I choose to do, and why I choose to do it. Um, and yes, shame and fear, man, that is a big thing. I think a lot of that is due to our childhood. I'm not gonna be a therapist here, but hey, that shit's a real thing. A lot of the mental blockage that we have is due to the stuff that we grew up around, right? It's probably not the best environment. Maybe it's not the best environment now. Um, and then also, uh, well, what you mentioned, you said that you quickly found out that you don't like making reels all that much. Sure, it's fun to interact with people and read the comments, so I'll do it more. I do it from time to time, but just felt like everybody was doing them. And if I didn't, I'd be left behind, which I now feel is a bit silly after I tried it. I want to upload stuff I feel will bring value to others, whether it's in art reels, videos, or just my art. See, there you go, man. Whatever it feels right for you, like just do it. Just give it a shot. And I'm glad that you did, dude. I see what you be making. I see you doing that little animation turnaround. Yeah, yeah. Pay top dollar for that. And then you mentioned that you've been having a lot of fun painting out your just like life experience, right? Like stressful things. You need that outlet, bro, which is a good thing. Um, and also forcing yourself to try and make cool things, that's a hard thing, right? Because oftentimes you might be disappointed, especially if you're not feeling right, and then you get as you start, and then at the end you realize it's not what you thought it was gonna be, and that could be kind of demoralizing. So my thing is try not to have an exact expectation at the end. Just go with it, just start and just create something, and then who knows? And then at the end you won't be so disappointed, but you'll be glad. Like it's the same thing of when you work out or if you go for a run, you just do it, but at the end of it, you don't regret doing the thing. But then if you're working out expecting to be like you're gonna be chiseled with abs, pure muscle, 3% body fat by the end of the week, you're gonna be very disappointed, and then you might not want to do it again. But hey, you're doing solid, man. I appreciate you for checking it. Oh, and then you mentioned that you just been hanging out with the fam, hanging out with your loved ones. That's great. Watching TV. You mentioned Signalis. So I bought that game years ago, and I have yet to beat it because it's a game where you have to know, you got to like navigate resource management, item inventory management, enemy management is all the stuff that I love in a horror game. It's like my favorite genre. But at the time, uh, for whatever reason, I didn't finish it. I got like maybe a quarter of the way. So I'm gonna go back and play it again. Dino Crisis, bro, man, that's my old man era, man. That's the '90s, bro. That's the '90s. Yeah, you're finding inspiration, and hey, Also the X-Men stuff. Yes, I'm a big X-Men head. I don't know too much about X-Men, like all the crazy X-Men Red and Blue. I know a little bit of it, but I love that stuff. I think a lot of people can relate to X-Men because it's not just about their powers, but it's about them as people, which I relate more than like Avengers. Um, yes, I appreciate that. I appreciate the really kind comments. And hey, y'all should do some X-Men too. Get that shit popping. Oh, I want to say I see comment. It's asking a question. Tentando Engajar Konkina 4580. I think I remember. I remember like you always tuning into the vids, and appreciate you for checking it out. Hey Moish, I've seen a lot of people recently, including you, starting to draw without reference and with permanent markers. Kim Jong-gi method basically, but I rarely see people who practice this kind of drawing process bringing this knowledge to their professional career, sketching all parts of the character's client and then rendering instead of sticking to your own visual library and permanent decision making. Do you think it's this way because it may be too difficult to use a sketch? And if you are not applying this method to your professional assignments, would that mean you're learning this for future use once you've mastered it and it comes off easily, or to slow down your process by training the intentionality of your decisions? Okay, if I'm understanding this right, you're mentioning how you don't really see these people taking it from the design process from like sketches to iterations to like rendering and then like passing it off to their art directors or whatever. So you don't really like see that process, which I agree, but I guarantee you, I think they're doing it. It's just most people don't show their uh for I'm sure it's because of NDA and whatnot. They don't really show their process, but I definitely do. So I will I won't use like my traditional papers, right? So if I'm like, for example, I'm not gonna like take these. You guys can see this. So I could take this and like scan it, which I think I would do that more now, but mostly because digital is so convenient, I tend to just work digitally if for client work. But I do take what I've been doing with my traditional stuff, the techniques that I've learned, definitely into my digital practices. And it is because it's made my process faster. Because, like you mentioned, training the intentionality of my decisions made it where I now can be more focused and intentional with what it is that I'm putting down on the canvas. So I use Photoshop, I have a Wacom, and when I do line art, before it would take me like 3 to 4 passes because I would do like a loose skeletal sketch, like a very loose sketch, and then I sketch on top of it, and then I have to clean up the sketch or add more detail to it. So it's a couple of passes, and I don't like that because it takes a little bit too much time and I get bored. At a certain point, like the fun part is like the first initial sketches that you're doing when you're coming up with these ideas. The moment you have to like clean it up, and then now you got to figure every little thing out, it begins to, I'm kind of over it. Maybe it's my ADHD brain, but practicing the slower method made it where instead of like 3 or 4 sketch iterations on top of each other, I now just do two. Um, Unless it's something that's really difficult, might take me a little bit, but I slow down and I just draw what it is exactly that I'm looking for. And then if I don't like it, I could erase certain parts of it, but then I have to take a step back and ask myself, what does this design need? And then I'll try it again. Oftentimes when I'm doing the old method, which is like I'll do a skeleton, I'll do all this placement stuff. I feel like because I there was a knowledge gap on my end of not understanding perspective, anatomy, um, architecture, whatever, that I was hoping that with these loose sketches that I will find a light at the end of the tunnel or like find an exit. But I learned, and I learned this from my mentors, that if you just studied and did research, this process will be a lot easier for you. So I always go back to that, which is why I found this new process of doing the inking stuff. And yes, I do apply it to my professional work. If I was working on a concept, I was working on concepts for this comic, for this company I work for. Um, and I think they released the first issue, so I could probably show some methods or methodology of what I applied to that, and it's helped me a lot. Um, it's forced me to go back and actually study the thing that I had to do. Once I realized, like, okay, this design isn't working, so I got to go back and look stuff up. Versus when I was using digital, purely digital, I found it so convenient. I could kit bash. Like the coolest thing, the most convenient thing is you could do a silhouette of shapes, and then you could do a series of shapes, and then now you could take the silhouettes of the shapes and then kit bash it. You can paint it black and white, add lighting, and it made it so convenient that I suffered as a designer who can just not waste time because I was so reliant on the cut and paste, and just discovering shapes as I go. Because I wasn't practicing my fundamentals, I was practicing all this other stuff, and I didn't like that. So I found that when I practice my fundamentals, actually my design skills later on has gotten much better. So I hope that answers your question. Um, and for client stuff, I'll mostly do digital, but now I'm finding with my traditional stuff, I want to do, like, if I'm going to do comics, I might just do that whole thing just traditionally. I see people doing it anyways, and that's like daunting to me. That's like the next challenge I want to do. I'm like, holy shit, how are you like not spending a whole week on a page? Um, like these guys are just going through it. They'll just do like a page. They'll do 3 pages in a day, and I'm like, holy shit, all traditional too. So that's a cool method that I would like to try out. But yeah, I hope that helps. Um, Again, Tentando Engajar. I appreciate you, man. And I hope you've been solid. I hope you've been creating and doing what you do, man. Keep killing it out there. And something tells me, like, you killing it too. Something tells me through the fucking ethernet that you're a man or a woman or a them of study. Know what I'm saying? So that's that. How long? Oh shit. 18 minutes? Do I want to keep going? Yeah, let me keep going. This video was originally supposed to be, it was like 17 minutes long, 16 minutes long. But I'm gonna add maybe some gameplay to this so you guys can tune into that. So that's the art stuff. I don't know how I want to format this thing, but that's the art stuff. We did the art stuff and the education stuff in the beginning, and now we can have time, which is kind of what I do with my students. We tend to do a lot of work in the beginning, and then towards the end, maybe like the last like 15 minutes of class or something, I'll pop in a fun game, a questionnaire, a video or something, because I want to maximize time, and then at the end we can have fun. So yeah. What gameplay should I don't know what gameplay's playing. This is just a pre-recorded video, and I just slapped something on top of it. It might be Hades. It's probably Hades. Dude, that art style is crazy, bro. That art style, it goes hard. I don't know how that lady, I forgot her name. I don't know how she designs like that. Like it's so crazy. I'm so inspired by so many different artists. You guys have no idea. I have like like even people who are still like beginners. I get really inspired by people. I don't really have like a favorite. I have so many people that I really admire. Especially now, I admire more storytellers, manga artists, comic book artists. It's like it's goated. Like animators, man, the undisputed, like undefeated goats that nobody knows their name. Like I'll see a billboard of a movie, let's say, I don't know, it's like Ghost in the Shell or something, and I'll just see that like an advertisement, and then I'll go, man, nobody knows the people who worked on this crazy masterpiece. Only nerds like us, only nerds who are into this stuff know. But everybody else is like, oh yeah, it's a cool movie. Like, dude, you know how much it takes to get this good? How much dedication it takes? Like the guys who did the backgrounds for Akira. Hold on, my mic. Like the guys who did the backgrounds for Akira, they did all that by hand. I don't think it was like it wasn't digital, right? Everything's like traditional stuff. And it's like a masterpiece of a movie, and I don't even know their names. I have to like actively look it up. To the guy who did all the windows in the opening sequence of Akira. Oh my god. Yeah, man. Anyways, yeah, it's wild. It's crazy to me that these goats don't get a lot of limelight, which I kind of find it cool. Which I think is it's a cool thing that your work can exist. Like you can exist just through your work. Like it doesn't need to have a name to it. It's just the work exists on its own, and I do find that kind of cool. Um, yeah, man, I've been playing some Skyrim because I craft for Dungeons and Dragons, and I've been like 3D printing, and all I see, like I don't, because it's so hard to see terrain until it's finished. So I have all this resin prints of 3D models, and I have XPS foam that I've cut up to make the environment. I had scattered terrain. I had all this stuff, but it's like it's not fully realized. So it's driving me insane because my brain is trying to immerse myself in this world, but because everything's like gray and there isn't much color to it yet, that it feels like a pre-alpha game footage on like Unreal, and I go crazy. I'm like, I need to see and live and breathe in this world for a bit. So I have my modded Skyrim, and I go in there and I'm just in solitude and I'm just looking at the northern lights. I look at the night sky. I'm like, oh yeah, this is great with the music in the background and the wind, the soft wind, like just caressing. I can feel everything. So I've been happy, man. It's like my therapy game. When I'm kind of depressed, the games that I play, well, I usually don't play games. Usually, if I'm depressed, I'm like working 10 times harder. But if I'm kind of feeling low, I go back to a few games. I will play Resident Evil is my comfort game. Horror games are like my comfort game. And then um, Skyrim or just Elder Scrolls games. It's immersive to me. Hold on. Let's see. Um, yeah, yeah. Yeah. I recently went back and I was looking at Soul Calibur, uh, Soul Calibur stuff. I saw that it was on the PlayStation Store, so I was telling my girlfriend, I was like, "Man, you don't know shit about this fucking game. What you know about this fucking? What you know about Keelik and and fucking Maxi and the Soul Calibur and the Soul? What you know about that shit, bro? Like, let me put you on game real quick." So I went back to watch that stuff, uh, just for nostalgia's sake. And I remember the Soul Calibur 1 had an art gallery. Okay, so if you guys don't know, Soul Calibur is a fighting game made by the company who made Tekken. It used to be really popular. It's now not at all. Like no one really plays that game. But in my opinion, it has some of the coolest art direction, most fun characters, very intuitive gameplay. If you're not a fighting game fan, you will love Soul Calibur. If you don't play fighting games, if you don't play brawlers or whatever, you will love Soul Calibur because the characters are so endearing. They got cool moves, and it's easy to learn, and it's hard to master. So I used to have Soul Calibur 1 for the Sega Dreamcast. Holy shit. That's how old I am? Hell yeah, bro. So Sega Dreamcast, and as a kid, I used to go sit and they had an art gallery, and I would sit in front of that art gallery for hours. And it had concept art, it had fan art, it had storyboards, and it would tell a lot of narrative without any words. And my young kid mind, I would fill in like the gaps, like the fan fiction. I would look at the artwork and I would just play out the the fan fiction scenario of like what this is supposed to be, and I would be so immersed. And I remember I used to do studies. I would sit there, I'd take a piece of paper and I would like study the artwork. My God, I remember that very vividly. And it's like late at night. Um, I'm just by myself, and I would just sit there and just draw Soul Calibur fan art. My God. So going back to that was cool. Like just seeing that the game, even after all these years, is still really fun. So that's what I plan to do, actually. What I plan to do is I'm gonna get all these old school games and just have the homies come over and we'll have like a little gauntlet. Because I have a friend who's always like complaining about fighting games these days. He's like, yeah, man, fighting games are for scrubs. It's too noob friendly, and I'm like, man, yeah, or like, yeah, this is cheap, this is unbalanced, and I'm like, you think these old school games were balanced? These old school games were balanced at all. So yeah, I just want to see, go back, play these old school games. Um, yeah, yeah. I do want to. Oh man, there's a story I want to tell you guys. Uh, because I grew up in the arcades, and so this is me. So I've lived with different people my whole life, um, and when I did for the short period of time, I lived in the more of like East Koreatown of LA. Terrible environment, gangs everywhere, right? That's just the way it goes. If you grew up in LA, you know what I'm talking about. It's it comes with the experience. So my outlet was video games. Particularly, I used to go out because I was always to myself. And so I was an idiot. I would always go out and just do crazy, stupid shit. And then I used to steal quarters from my mom without her knowing. And then, man, she whooped my ass when she found out. She wasn't mad that I took the quarters. She was more upset that I was like sneaking and taking quarters. I was just being a sneaky person or a sneaky kid. So that's what she was mad at. But I used to take quarters and I would go to the arcades with my friends. And man, this neighborhood was not it. There was uh, is it on 6th Street? So 6th Street and Rampart? Or it's either Rampart or Alvarado. I think it was Alvarado. There used to be a 99-cent store there. I think now it's called like the dollar store. And then right next to that was a store called it was like a video store. It was so dingy, dude. they had like I still remember it was like a really tight, uh, cramped video store. You go in there and it's just walls of DVDs just surrounding you. And then in the far back of the corner, there was a curtain, like a purple curtain, and it said adults only with all the porn. And then right next to that, they had these arcade cabinets. So they had, what do they had? They had fucking shit. What did they have? They had the, they had Metal Slug, Samurai Showdown, Bubble Bubble, Street Fighter Third Strike, Marvel vs. Capcom 2. Yeah, I remember that distinctly. And me and my friend, we used to go there like all the time and just play these games. And I remember I witnessed like on the way there, there's a that dollar store. I saw a guy. There was man, like a dude got stabbed there for trying to rob the store. And I saw him coming out of the store bleeding out. It was like this black dude, and I just saw his shirt was like just drenched in black. It was like dark red. It was dark red, and he's going out to the middle of the street, and cars are just honking at him. And the owner came out with a baseball bat and a knife, and I was like, "Holy shit!" Yeah, I'll never forget that. Um, I remember the homie tried ordering a burrito there, and there was a drive-by. Like as he was ordering the burrito, a drive-by happened. A drive-by is okay. If you guys don't know, a drive-by is when you drive by and you take a gun and you're shooting as you drive by. It's that simple. Usually, gang members do it to uh, either to cause fear or to they see an enemy in the street, so then they scout him out like this, roll down the window, pop, 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 boom, and then they drive off. So yeah. Okay, so this video store. Okay, how much time? I don't want to be too long. So, all right. So this video store, dude. Fighting games. Fighting games back in the day was different. Now with all this stuff with online play, it makes it convenient for people to just play in the comfort of their home. But back then, when you were in the arcades, if you wanted to play, let's say Street Fighter 2 or whatever, you had to put in a quarter on the cabinet because that is now your turn. So you're claiming next. So whoever is playing, you have two people playing, and then you just take a quarter and then you put it right there, and then you just wait because that is the universal law of I got next. And man, if you weren't good, you're losing quarters fast. So niggas were doing the cheapest shit in these fucking games, man. It was so hilarious, but it created a like this dynamic storytelling where it felt like different martial arts schools were like going to different dojos to fight the strongest. It was so sick, dude. And me and my friend, like, we're not good. At the very least, like, I'm not good at these games. I just like Street Fighter 3. The art style was amazing, and these characters were super cool. And a game that we admired was like Marvel vs. Capcom 2. I remember there was a guy there. We must have been in middle school. We were like these young little chitlins, and there was a Korean guy there. He had on a white shirt. He just looked normal as hell, like short hair, white long shirt, shorts, and he would play Marvel vs. Capcom, and his team was Cable, Iron Man, and I think Magneto. Or he had Iron Man in his team. And he did this incredible move. Like he would just practice against the CPU, and he would do this. He had an infinite. So Iron Man had an infinite hit combo where he goes, I remember the sound distinctly. It was like hop 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 her hop 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 her hop hop her hop 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 her. And me and my friend, we used to look at this guy like on the sideline in the corners like this, and be like, "Man, this it's like watching a master at work." We're like, "Man, this guy's so good," and we used to admire him. It's like watching like your favorite basketball player. And then every time he would leave, like we would try and practice it, but then we don't have enough money, so then we just like watch him play, and then that was it. And then anybody that came to challenge him, he was chilling. He was like, he would just whoop their ass. And he always had one foot. He would have one foot on the arcade cabinet. Like there was like a metal bar, and he would have one foot. So he's like leaning. He's just like had one foot there. He's just like chilling, and he's doing the Iron Man Infinite. Hop, 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 whooping ass. One day, I remember this Mexican dude and his homie comes to the dojo of this video store. I never seen this guy, by the way. He comes in, this dude, he puts in a quarter, he challenges the Korean guy. Mind you, the Korean guy's chilling, one foot on the metal peg. Hop, 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 her, hop, her. Iron Man Infinite, right? Comes in, challenges him, and that dude picked, I think he picked like Magneto, Sentinel, something. And he wiped the floor against the Korean dude. And my friend, we were like, holy shit, the master just got defeated. We're like, oh no, what the hell? And then after he beat him, the challenger, his friend, was like laughing on the sideline. And he was like giving him props. Like, he was like, oh shit, someone's the dog. And he's like giving him props. Like, I don't know what he was saying, but he was essentially just saying like, yeah, you beat his ass. And the guy playing him, he's like cocky. And this is when the Korean dude, he activated Ultra Instinct or something, because he took off one foot off the peg and he stood upright. And me and my friend, we looked at each other, we were like, oh shit, it's about to get real. It was a battle. That shit was like Dragon Ball Z. And the Korean guy like beat his ass. And the Mexican dude, he kept popping in quarters. And the Korean guy was just wiping his ass. Infinite. Hit him with the forbidden technique. The hop, 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 her, hop, 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 her. He's like, yeah, you gonna laugh at me, bitch? Laugh at this Infinite. Hop, 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 her. Whooped his ass, right? So beats him. They leave defeated. And me and my friend were like, yeah. And then I remember he he was about to leave. So he leaves, and you still have the game. Like you can't turn off the arcade cabinet. So he still had the game up. And then he looks towards us and he says, hey kid. Like he's like, hey, you guys can play. And it felt like you ever seen those videos where the basketball player like gives the towel to like the young kid who wants to be a basketball player? He's like, kid, it's on you now. And that's how I felt. And so when we got to the arcade cabinet and like we saw his characters, I felt like my hands were like, oh shit, I'm touching this like this legendary artifact. Like, oh man, I don't know what to do with this. And I felt like that famous basketball player passing on the torch to me at the time. And so me and my friends were like, we're kind of short too, so we're like this. We're like, yeah, I still remember that guy. I think about him all the time. No homo. I hope he's good. I feel like he's like in college. If I was to do like a theory crafting as to what he's been up to, I feel like he seems like the type who got a good education and he moved on with his life. He's not playing games anymore. He's just like a hardworking family man. That's the way I imagine him. But I think the dude was like in like, I don't know, senior in high school. We were in middle school. Maybe he's in college or something. Yeah, those are some fun memories. Those are things that I would never get. You can never get again these days. Um, yeah. It felt like a martial arts movie. Like this dude who comes along and he knows his forbidden technique and he's gonna whoop your ass, and then somebody else comes along and they know an even crazier technique, and then they beat you, and now you got to go and train and come back. And it was all these different stories, but I got more stories next time. But that's it for now. That's a good place to end it. About 40 minutes. uh Thank you guys again for always tuning in. Hope you guys have been drawing along. um Yeah, keep on keeping on, y'all. Enjoy yourselves and keep creating. All right, love you guys. Peace.